Just a spectacular afternoon for football here in the Tar Heel state of North Carolina as EA Sports welcomes you inside Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. Two 1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Ready? Mike's 42. Right. Mike's 42. Switch out. Match box. Right.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's what I do.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
We got double tight. Double tight.
On the ground, McCaffrey.
22. Eyes on 22.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Bridgewater to throw it. Forced out to his left. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So he rolls out of the pocket left, just ends up finding a safety valve, but no gain there.
No gain, but it looked like they were well coached on the play because he still went through his progressions, and the receivers know that when the quarterback exits the pocket, they have defined routes to run now to get into his sight lines and try and help him out. End up throwing it short to the running back. Give the defense credit for not giving up any yardage.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Nice hit, baby.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check 50, teammate. Check. Crunch. Hey, foxtrot.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
65. Shit.
Check 4.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. 13 yards, 1st down Packers.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers caught by Jones. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing is Rodgers. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. First reception for him, and remember, he leads the NFL in that category here in this first month. Also has a 1st down. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They go back to the ground now with Miller. He finds some open field here. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Lamar Miller, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Panthers take over.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing, Bridgewater. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball is expected to be caught.
Strong right.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Right there, 56. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
On second down, it's Jones.
Here we go.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Well, that second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Shut down.
It's a pickup of 3.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's check.
Out of a pistol look, it's Miller. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
Here we go.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the teams.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Tackle made there by Jonathan Cyprien. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. Touchdown, Packers. Devontae Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Let's go.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Bridgewater now. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards, first down, Panthers. On first down, this is McCaffrey. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
A gain of 3, second down. On 2nd and 7, Rodgers into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Mike 42, check. 42.
I can't believe they let you play. They even let you play.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Bridgewater. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Now Bridgewater on 4th down. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Bridgewater again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Ian Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I know a lot of coaches like to break their season into quarters, and how about the first 4 games for this guy? 3 touchdowns scored, really making his mark in the red zone here in the first month of the season.
Gano the extra point, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. After the run by Jones, here's first and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. On third down, here's Jones. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Green Bay.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
18, 26.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Rush in. Rush in. Rush in.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Slam. Celebrate.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
I'm here all day.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the Panthers' 47-yard line.
319. Scan 300. Scan 300.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Check.
Go to 50.
Check 59. Mike is...
Hey, Charlie.
59. Watch the slants. Mike's 5'9".
Throwing on second down. Rodgers making the catch is Sternberger. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
There you go.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the run.
They'll try the right side with Jones.
Run.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, hey. Kill.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. He completes it to Jones. 22 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Mike 54.
Again, it's Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Bandit.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's McCaffrey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Bridgewater. He's going to air one out. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They're indeed going for it. Bridgewater.
We ain't giving them nothing today.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark, and the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Boys, 56. Check, 56.
You better bring it. You better bring it.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try to keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
A gain of 15. First down, Packers.
Blue 58.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On first down, it's Jones. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A second down carry for Irvin. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And it's third down.
The Packers on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Right back to Irvin. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This one fielded at the 5. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They go play action here on first down. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. It's a Carolina first down on a gain of 16.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. And nice chunky yardage picked up there.
Now Bridgewater. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A first down throw for Bridgewater. Thomas has got it, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
To the air again with Bridgewater. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey, but it'll be second and goal. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Delta, Delta. Watch the slant. Mike 42. Mike 42. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Let's go. Mike 42. Mike 42.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Mike 42. Target, 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 target. Check.
3rd and goal for Bridgewater.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back.
And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here.
And it'll be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Let's go.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following the pick-6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Irvin, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
I'm going to come back to you.
56.
Again, they run. Again, it's Irvin. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Irvin. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Hey, Mike's 42.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Josh Jackson. The 20. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? It's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
And my goodness, another interception. Kevin King with a pick. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers looking. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Hey, watch Sam, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Hey, Delta.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54. Right there, 54 Mike.
Rodgers looking to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And he's got the hook up to Moore. Past the 20. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards. Well, an interesting finish to this one. They get in the end zone at the end of the game. Then they went for two. It wouldn't have mattered. The game was over, but they didn't get that two-point conversion.
I think trying to get the 2 points, that was for pride for them. But had some pride, too. They stopped the two-point play, even though, as you noted, it did not matter. So both teams battled to the end.
So for the Packers, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen,